barrel aging coffee. Okay, now this is a very niche thing, and we had the opportunity to do it because a local winery, Château, was interested in giving us an old red wine barrel and allowing us to age a special coffee in it. So this is everything we learned during that process. So we did a couple tests. The first thing we did, and this I do not advise doing, is we took roasted coffee and put it into a wine barrel. Now, the problem here was that the coffee soaked up all of the alcohol, and because it was already roasted, there was this kind of disgusting alcoholic aftertone on the coffee no matter how we extracted it. So, number one, I would not suggest putting roasted coffee into any barrel that was previously used for alcohol. It just seems like the roasted coffee absorbed kind of all the negative attributes of alcohol, and we didn't get any of those positive, good things that we were looking for. Some of those like interesting fruity tones. That was number one. So then we said, okay, we're going to put green coffee in. Now, I did some research on this, and the optimal time from other people who have already done this was around 2 weeks. Seems like if you go over that, you're gonna run into absorbing kind of too much and the coffee just simply getting a bit old in the barrel. And then if you go under that, you're not giving it enough time. Now, you need to continuously rotate the barrel. That's a pain in the ass. And you need to continually make sure it's even flipping the other way as well. So you're rolling the barrel around. I'd flip it onto one side, leave it there for a few hours, then flip it over, roll it a bit, come back the next day, roll. So there's constant movement so that all the coffee is getting equal times with the side of the barrel, which is obviously going to give you the most wine or oak to the coffee. So that was the second learning. And then the third thing was that roasting the coffee was actually very tricky because something about the alcohol burning off early in the roasting process actually forced us to go with a slightly lower temperature for this roast. And the end result was incredible, but if we roasted at a higher temperature, it seemed like the outside cooked at an extremely quick rate versus the inside of the coffee. And I don't know if that had to do with, once again, alcohol content or anything like that, but that was something we noticed. And then a couple notable mentions about the whole process. I think when you're doing this, you want to select a coffee that is more mild, more neutral, so that it can take on a bit more from the barrel. I don't think you want to put an absolute fruit bomb in there and then throw it into a barrel, and then maybe some of the natural characteristics of that particular coffee, let's say, a very bright Yirgacheffe, that is going to struggle, the barrel is going to struggle to have an impact on a coffee that's that bright in a positive way. So we tried to pick something more neutral. We picked a beautiful coffee from Brazil that was naturally processed, and it was able to add some complexity to the coffee, and I think it came out really nice. So if you're doing this at home, those are my tips. I don't know where you'd get a barrel from, but if you have access to an old whiskey barrel or an old wine barrel, once again, everything we did here was with a wine barrel, so if you're doing it with a whiskey barrel, it might be a little different, but this is just what I learned from doing this process. And obviously we did a couple test batches, and then we did a commercial batch, which is going to be roasted in a couple days of 140 pounds of coffee. So that is what we learned, and I hope that our learnings will help you create a fun barrel-aged coffee. And just a side note, would I do this again? Yeah, I think I would. I think it's one of those things where less is more. I don't think it's something I do all the time, but I think once or twice a year, it's kind of fun to experiment with something like this, try something a little different, and give people the opportunity to try something truly unique. And where we're located right now, we're in the Niagara region, so second biggest wine route in North America, next to Napa Valley. So we have a bunch of wineries and stuff at our disposal that are doing interesting things and that we love to work with on these projects. So that's kind of, that's my 2 cents, guys. So enjoy your barrel-aged coffee, and I'll see you next time.